VPPNM News Release. Findings of Fact, 2006 Rules and Regulations of the Urvona Municipal Authority. Urvona, PA November 8, 2025. A review of the Urvona Municipal Authority's Rules and Regulations, adopted on March 20, 2006, reveals important findings regarding the governance framework of the authority. These rules remain a foundational document for the operation of the water system and the authority's relationship with its customers. The March 20, 2006 Rules and Regulation were not adopted lawfully according to the official RTKL copies supplied by TIMA AORO. Findings of Fact. Scope of the 2006 Rules. The rules and regulations govern water service connections, billing, metering, liability, and consumer obligations. They establish the authority's responsibility for maintaining service lines up to the curb stop, while property owners bear responsibility beyond that point. They define procedures for applications, tenant deposits, meter installation, and enforcement of violations. Absence of employment or personnel provisions. The 2006 rules contain no language addressing employment practices, personnel policies, or drug screening requirements. All provisions are limited to water system administration and customer service obligations. Audit and enforcement provisions. The rules require accurate billing, proper metering, and enforcement of violations through written notice and compliance deadlines. They emphasize the authority's duty to maintain full and accurate accounts of receipts and expenditures, consistent with the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Act, 53 PAC.S. 5607, D. 2. Governance gap identified. Later financial records, 2022 to 2024, show expenditures for drug screening, yet no regulatory foundation exists in the 2006 rules to authorize such practices. This discrepancy highlights a policy-driven actions taken outside the scope of adopted regulations, raising concerns of legitimacy and stewardship. Stewardship implications. Transparency failure. Expenditures for drug screening lack a codified basis in the authority's governing rules. Regulatory overreach. Without formal adoption of employment-related policies, such practices risk being applied inconsistently or misused. Public trust risk. Ratepayers cannot be assured that funds are being spent in accordance with duly adopted regulations. Conclusion. The 2006 Rules and Regulations of the Urvona Municipal Authority provide a clear framework for water system operations but do not authorize or regulate employment practices such as drug screening. Subsequent expenditures in this area represent a governance gap and a failure of stewardship by the Board of Directors. To restore transparency and compliance, the authority must either amend its rules to address employment practices formally or cease expenditures that fall outside the scope of its adopted regulations. Prepared for public release. This statement is issued to inform the community and uphold the principles of honor, integrity, and transparency in municipal governance.